Leah Libresco shares her spiritual journey from atheism to Catholicism in her book, Arriving at Amen. Amen. And in just a few weeks, all eyes will be on Pope Francis as he visits first Cuba, then the United States. Do you see this as a good opportunity for us to share our faith with others?
I think it's an excellent opportunity, and I think one of the gifts that Pope Francis's visit gives us as Catholics is that it opens a topic for conversation that doesn't start in conflict.
Yeah.
Often when people are sharing their faith, it starts when someone asks you a question, which is usually, why is the church wrong about X? And that frames the discussion in kind of a difficult way for both people. It's nice to have a place to start that doesn't begin antagonistically.
You were on the other end of this, so how do you suggest that we break open that conversation with a non-believer?
I think one thing is it helps to think in terms of symmetry. How would you want to be approached by a non-believer who passionately thought it was best for you to also be a non-believer? What would be the easiest way for you to start that conversation? And it doesn't usually start with a, guess how wrong you are.
Oh, no.
You know? So think about how you'd want someone to speak to you and try that. Sometimes that also means just opening the conversation for more questions. So instead of leading by telling someone, about the most important thing the church is right about that they're wrong about, even starting by telling something that's weird about the church or that you particularly enjoy is a way to open a conversation that the other person enjoys and wants to be part of.
And certainly when they ask a question, they're going to be more open to a discussion. Mm-hmm. Hence, when the Pope is here, there probably will be a lot of questions. How do you see the comparison between, say, Pope Benedict XVI and Pope Francis in their approach to people outside of the Catholic Church?
I think they're really giving the same gospel message, but in quite different languages. And the Church has always used a lot of different ways to tell this story, in icons, in music, in text. And Pope Benedict was an enormous nerd, which I like a lot.
And a good thing. That's a good thing.
And he's deep into the theology and very meaty all the time.
A great writer.
Great writer. I love his books on the life of Christ. And Pope Francis, the first thing you see about him isn't kind of his text, it's his deeds. And people find them intensely attractive in a way that it's harder to jump into the writing of Pope Benedict casually, spontaneously. But when you look at Francis, you need kind of the history of spirituality that informs what he does to understand why he is being kind in this particular way.
If you're attracted to Francis, then you might move on to reading Benedict XVI, and then you're in.
Yep.
Leah Libresco, and the book is Arriving at Amen. Thanks so much for being with us, Leah.
Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome.